Photographic historian Beaumont Newhall said in his definitive book on the history of photography, quote, "Ever since 1839, photography has been a vital means of communication and expression." Newhall further states, "Photography is at once a science and an art, and both aspects are inseparably linked through its astonishing rise from substitute for skill of hand to an independent art form." Let's take a look at what Newhall means with those two statements. First, photography has presented the world a means of communication through still imagery that we would be hard-pressed to imagine living without. It also allows anyone who is not a skilled painter or artist in other mediums outside of photography, or now video, to capture everyday life with little to no formal artistic training or skill. Photographs allow us to see people, places, and events that we might not otherwise be able to see. Photographs impact our opinions on war, politics, poverty, human rights abuses, and so many other elements of the human condition. Photographs or still images, they allow us to document the wonder, beauty, and destructive power of nature. They allow us to document and communicate visually the impact we humans are having on our physical world, as well as beyond the bounds of Earth. Photographs are sometimes created to bring pleasure to our eyes as a means of individual expression, as a marketing tool, or a means to entertain. From the beginning, and again, photographs have allowed us to see people, places, and things we might not ever known about. Without the advances that took place in trying to capture still images over several centuries, and until the first photographic process was patented in 1839. Newhall further talked about the science of photography and how it freed us to create an art form that is open to everyone. Newhall spoke of how it allows us to document people, events, in our world in ways humans never dreamt of a short 200 years ago. To truly understand what Newhall meant, you need to understand what the word photography means. The word photography and its origins are much more definitive than the idea of creating or capturing a photograph itself, or when we can say that the first still photographic process was truly invented. The word photography comes from Greek origins meaning writing with light, with its earliest known use in Brazil around the 1833 timeframe, but was never published or recognized during its time. So what does writing with light mean? My interpretation has always been you are capturing with a camera what the eyes are seeing of a scene or a subject, and the brain is recording what we are looking at, but it's a scene or a subject which our mind will eventually forget in detail. However, and unlike how we humans see subjects or a scene before us, in photography, you capture still images of a scene or a subject with a camera, or a recording device that has a camera built around it. A traditional camera is in essence a box, or a darkened chamber with a hole in it, or an aperture. If you add a lens to the same box, you can capture a much sharper image within your darkened chamber. Next, you need a means to record the sharpened image that forms inside the box. The older, more traditional form of capturing an image is through the analog recording device known as film. Film is a simplistic image recording device in comparison to digital photography because it is both a capture and a storage device. With digital imaging devices, you have a sensor chip to record the image, then you have a media card in your camera to store the image, albeit temporarily. Finally, you have a permanent digital storage device, one for the long-term storage of your digital image file. That long-term storage device can be a hard drive on or externally connected to your computer, or it could be on the cloud, to name two of the more common storage solutions. Always keep the following in mind if you are considering a career as a photographer, or taking up photography as a serious hobby, or you just want to make photos for fun. The art, processes, and technology involved in photography are evolving in today's world, and they are evolving at a mind-boggling pace. In looking back prior to the 1980s, the process of capturing and preserving a fully realized and permanent photographic image was an evolution that took place over many centuries, and it didn't change a whole lot between 1839 and 1980, and in comparison to the last 40 plus years. Efforts to improve the ease with which we capture, process, and share photographs is much easier, faster, and is open to everyone. With all of that said, again, what is photography? Well, the definition of photography has different meanings to everyone. I once asked family and friends, what do you think the definition of photography is? With no surprise at all, the definitions were wide-ranging. Memories. It's a window to the past. It can make you smile, cry, scream in outrage, or encouragement. It's a way to share and record your history. It's an art form. It sometimes tells a story. Photography is a conglomeration of art and science. Photographs can be posed or in the moment. It creates a permanent record that can be duplicated over and over. It's keeping memories alive to be passed on to future generations. As you can see, and I would agree, the definition to what is photography, it has many meanings to each person, and it's a definition beyond what is found in a textbook, Writing with Light. It's a way to capture our memories. It's an art form. It's a recording of an event. It's a silver gelatin print. It's a digital file that we upload on our Instagram account. With the advent of digital cameras and now AI, some might say the definition of photography and what it means has changed. I disagree. The reason I do is because the fundamental design or operability and the uses of a camera are still the same as they've always been. Yes, those uses may have expanded beyond what was imagined just a couple of decades ago. However, the physical camera, the primary invention from which the still image evolved, has it changed all that much over time? Now that's an interesting question. The camera obscura that started it all many centuries ago, and again, the basics of traditional camera operations, they have not changed all that much since the late 1830s. We are still dealing with a box or a light-tight chamber, one that has an aperture or a hole in it that allows light to enter the light-tight chamber, and a means for capturing the image permanently. Most of all, the reasons for which we use a camera have not changed that much either. What has changed is our ability to capture a still image quickly, and in some instances with very little effort or skill. The processes which we use to capture still image will also continue to improve, and in ways that were unimaginable even as little as 20 years ago, and as we move forward. In the comments section, please share your definition to the question, what is photography? If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel using the subscribe button found below. Also, make sure to click the post notification bell so you never miss out on new content as it's posted. Last thing, please spread the word about this channel to anyone you think might be interested in learning photography. And remember, if you're going to shoot someone, use a camera. Thanks for watching.